Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ajay Patel Show. Happy New Year indeed. It's 2026. It might just be my year. It might just like I understand everyone says this, ooh, new year, new me. We joke around about this all the time. But there's stuff happening. There's stuff happening, and you kind of just feel this wind under you where it's like, I have to take off this year. I have to have one of those years, where you just build and you're like, oh shit, you look back and it's like, damn, bro, like I really worked hard towards that. Last year was very eventful, right? 2025, very eventful. You have a wedding, you have a bachelor party, you have other people's weddings, you have this, you have that. Oh, and then you find out you're having a kid. Now you move states. Now you're still working this job, right? It's just kind of like events. You're not really building towards your bottom line. If anything, you're getting more in the red. And that's what 2025 was for me. Don't get me wrong, a very blessed year and a very, very privileged and blessed to live and experience year. But 2026 got to be that year. It just has to be that year. You know what I'm saying, bro? Kid on the way. Yes. And that's, if I'm talking to you today on the 7th, we're going in, but we're going to talk more about that later. It just has to be that year. There's a new Chris Brown album coming. There's a new Drake album coming. Huh? The Avengers are coming back this year. Like that's just the beauty. The beauty of a new year. And that's why I'm pretty excited. I know the whole podcast thing, it's strenuous. It's like, where does this thing go? How do you actually get this thing to move forward? Do you have the time to put into this? And honestly, I'm just going to keep it a buck with y'all. I do not. There's a lot of times I look at this podcast game and I'm just like, damn, bro. I need to get to the point where I'm hiring people for a lot of this stuff, because you just spend too much time on certain parts of the equation, especially for something where it's like you make more money in another profession. So use that to boost the side gig as much as you humanly can until that side gig is making some type of revenue stream, right? Then you slowly tween off the main job, move to the side gig, whatever it is. So that is what I have to kind of start doing more of this year, is just taking a pause, slowing down and being like, all right, where does this thing actually work? How does this thing actually evolve? How do I make sure I'm bringing actual good material week on week? And it's not, I'm just blabbing about some of this shit. I'm going to keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. I've listened to some of those episodes. It's 78 to like 84. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Those were some hard to talk throughs, and those were some hard to listens. And for that, I apologize. I do want to be one of those people. And especially, it's like, if you expect to grow, you got to be putting out quality, right? You do have to look back at some of your work and be like, bro, what the fuck was that? Who would want to listen to this dude ramble on about this and just ramble on about Trump, which we might talk about later because, Venezuela. But who wants to keep hearing some of this shit where it's like, you know what? I'm here to take a break from that world, right? I'm listening to you in the morning where I'm getting ready for work. I'm listening to you when I'm just working out or something. I'm going for a walk. I'm trying to get away from all that shit. I'm trying to get away from every single time I open up my TikTok, someone's getting blown up or someone's getting shot in the neck. I'm trying to get away from that. So with that being said, Happy New Year's. And going forward, I am going to move this podcast to be every other week. So we'll have 1 week of release. We'll try to supplement it with some type of content, whether it's short clips, maybe interviews, whatever it is, right? How do I just kind of get this thing to have a little bit of a breather? We're reaching episode 100 soon. I'm having a child very sooner than that. And, like, all of this has to happen at the same time. And if you keep trying to just force some of these pieces, and I'm not talking absolute, right? I'm just kind of just like, this is what I'm seeing for myself right now, where I gotta just take some time on this piece. So I'm going to be moving to every other week, move it back to Monday versus Wednesday. So then we have more time to record. We're not just doing it on the flip. Honestly, it was supposed to already be on Monday, and then I kind of did Tuesday more, then I started doing Wednesday more. But look, back to the Monday every other week. Hopefully we throw some cooking stuff in there. I'm not going to ever make baby content. If y'all see me ever making baby content of, hey, this is my routine as a dad from 8 to 5, shoot me. I don't want to be that person. I'm not downing anyone that does do it. Cool. Salute. I've been consuming a lot of your content, but I don't want to do that. So if y'all catch me doing that, that means I've probably given up on the dream. You need to come visit me. Bring some food, maybe some fried chicken, some lasagna, maybe a pizza or something, and just make sure I'm all right. Other than that, how are y'all doing? How are your resolutions? Have you thought about what you're doing? It feels really funny. You know, this like January 4th through 6th. Oh, is it January 6th today? Isn't that the whole Storm the Capitol day? Oh, shit. This period of January just feels like this lull. You know, it's always this hangover. And as we're kind of like timing Isha's delivery date, because we've now, you know, I don't know how much detail to give. You know, is it kind of getting weird? Anyways, we have a scheduled induction now. And with that, you can kind of pick the date. And so is it better to, like, you know, we really contemplated having that late December birthday, which that didn't happen. Okay, now you have an early January birthday. You know, I don't really know. The top of January birthdays, like you have this hangover from New Year's, right? New Year's is this big boom. And then everyone kind of just dies out. Just slowly comes back to, whether they're coming back to school, coming back to work, slowly getting a groove for things. It's cold outside. You look fresh, you know, like you look cool. You're going to the gym a little bit more. You're wearing your big winter coats and you look slim and black. And then February comes around and then you're finally back, you know, then there's some light in your eyes again. And that's what that, you know, this period right now is like, damn, bro, the top of January is a rough time to celebrate. But you know what? I don't need my daughter drinking anyways. Other than that, how is everything going, guys? I am just slowly getting the place together. Not a lot of stuff has been happening in life. We honestly just wake up, just be kicking it. Paternity leave has started. Maternity leave has started. So we, you know, like we're just hanging out. Honestly, we've picked up this weird addiction to colonist.io. Colonist.io. That is Catan on an app. And bro, we've been playing the dog shit out of this. Like, I'm telling you right now, you do not want to catch these hands in Catan right now. I've developed too many strategies. I'm too good now. I'm like Muhammad Ali in his prime right now. Whether it's or wheat, you should see my star strategy. You should see my third row, 5 stars going forward strategy. You don't know me, bro. Other than that, Isha's also been busting my ass, bro. You know, like you can't get too competitive in some of this shit. You know, like, cause bro, I be punching the floor. Because like she's playing it like a game. You know, she's like playing a game. She's having fun. She's like, oh, you know what? She's still kicking my ass, but she's having fun doing it. And if she loses, she's like, oh, whatever. She gets a little annoyed. You know, she's like, damn it. And then she can like brush it over in 5 minutes. But at least she's not bad while she's losing. Me, bro. It's like I'm playing Call of Duty in 2009. It's like I'm playing Call of Duty in my prime, bro. And someone does some dumb shit, and you punching the desk, you throwing your controller across the room, bro. You cussing out. You know, we saying all the words back then, and you just so much rage feeling up your body, and you just. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't have that. And so it feels weird when I'm playing this with her because it's like, this isn't a game for me, bro. This isn't a game for me. I don't know, bro. But yeah, we've just been chilling, going out to restaurants, and holy shit, bro, I forgot how fucking good Uchi was. Oh my God, bro. Uchi is the fucking place. Don't get me wrong. You probably gonna end up spending at least $150 per person, and that's drinking light. But it is a time. It's a time, man. I've been to some posh restaurants across all the LA times and since we've been back here. And let me tell you something, Uchi is the place. It's so good, bro. Not only is it like the amount of service that you get when you just walk in there and they give you a little glass of wine. They say, hey, you know, like, you know, we got your table coming, don't worry. And then everyone in there is greeting you. They're looking at what you actually write in the whole reservation. So then they say, oh, wow, happy anniversary. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, this is your first time here. It's an experience like no other. I've been to some of these other posh restaurants and boy, it's not the same. I told y'all one of these times, I forgot what restaurant it was. It's literally across the street from Uchi in that Heights area. Oh Otro or whatever, and we had the dumbest waitress. I think they gave us the rookie because, man, it was just like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm paying $15 a glass of wine, that service got to be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a certain bar. And it's pretty cool where it's like, damn, Uchi, how do y'all do this shit? I used to go to Uchi quite a bit, not quite a bit, you know, I ain't like that. I mean, but honestly, quite a bit. I lived in Uptown, right down the street by the Uptown one. Did I say Uptown? Yeah, Dallas Uptown Uchi, and it was an experience, bro. You go there, I have no clue what shit is. I don't know what a nigiri is. I don't know what a what the fuck was that thing called when you put it, a crudo is. I don't know what a roll is. I don't know what a California is. You know when people say like, oh yeah, you want to just get a couple of Philadelphia rolls? I think that's cream cheese now that I think about it. But oh yeah, you want a rainbow roll? You want a dragon roll? And they just know this shit by memory. These people are weird, bro. I don't understand it. They be knowing these sushi rolls like it's their friends' names. You know what I'm saying? Like they be knowing this shit. And it's like, y'all don't have to read the description. Like the only sushi I know is shit from like the Barchi menu. You know, where like you go there just to be taking sake shots and I'm just ordering whatever the hell's on the happy hour menu. And I'm just saying, hey, is it fried? And they're like tempura. And I'm like, what? Is that fried? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I just want fried, bro. Some of these people just begin the little thin slices. It's not nigiri. It's whatever. The spicy tuna is always a fucking hit. And it's like, yo, I need someone to guide me through this experience. And you know what? Uchi does that shit. I had a great time there. I did the omakase. Because you know what? I'm about to be raising a child for the next couple months. I'm about to be probably having a little bit of a rough sleep. I'm probably not going to be eating the best and all that shit. I'm going to have a lot of people around. I'm going to have to change diapers. So I thought, why not? Let me go get the omakase. And it was a great time, man. Uchi is the fucking place to be. I told y'all, I'm keeping it light this week. No political stuff. Nothing about Venezuela and how we've just become some goddamn gangsters. Next week, we have Narain and Yukoti. So I had my boys Narain and Vishva over the course of the like New Year's time frame. And once again, we did the whole thing. Hey, we should record. Eventually, we did not record. And Vishva left. And then you know what? I said, fuck it. New year, new me. Narain and I recorded an episode. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I think it was some of our best work? You know, I think we'll be better next time. I'll be better next time because we need to bring entertainment back. On that episode, we talk a little bit about the whole Venezuela thing, and it's just so funny about all this stuff that's coming out, and like we kidnap people and give them water bottles, and now they're turning all of this stuff into memes. They want the Venezuelan people don't want him to be let free. The American people want him to be let free. Like I you know what I'm saying, like you can't even make this shit up anymore. You can't even teach a child this stuff. The amount of like hypocrisy and just blinders on, bro. It's insane. But like I said, I'm keeping it light this week. I wanted to squeeze one more episode in so then I can push that episode to 2 weeks from now. Because like I said, baby's on the way. And it's pretty crazy. Like, here's why I think moms are crazy. When you're about 30 years old, you start having these conversations. Nowadays 30. Back in the day, like 24. Back in the day, like your grandma's age, maybe like 19. You start having these conversations with your friends. And it's a lot about just like, we're having kids. We're trying. Like this is how my delivery went. This is how the first 6 months were. This is how the first week was. This is how the first 2 years were. And you start finding yourself in these conversations and it just suddenly hits you where it's like, oh, shit, I'm having these conversations. Like this would not be a normal conversation to me 5 years ago, let alone 3 years ago, let alone last year. And then you just find yourself in this pocket. You just find yourself in this pocket where it's you and at least 2 other friends or other peers or, your wife's peers, and they're all having kids at the same time. And for someone that's not married or that does not have a sibling that's gone through this, I can understand how it's a very strange time. Because every single conversation you end up in, the stories are the most graphic thing you will ever be a part of. And I understand, I'm not supposed to be weak stomached about this. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is the human body. But it's not normal. It's not normal. There is a reason people don't watch birth videos, because they are literal horror movies. Why would you want to see that? Why would you? I was literally watching The Pit, an HBO show that was nominee for some shit. And there was a birth scene. There's literally a birth scene, and it shows the child's head, the baby's head crowning. And it's like, hey, why are they showing this, bro? Like, when did this become a thing? I get it. It's a medical show. I should be open to it. But it's not normal, right? It's not something you just see on the side of the street. It's not something you see. Breastfeeding is normal, right? You normally see, a mom nursing a child, and it's like, all right, cool, like, whatever. All right, they're feeding the kid. But if you were to give birth in the middle of the street, that wouldn't be normal, right? This is a thing that is behind a curtain for a reason. And you're part of these stories, and they become so normal, where people are just talking about these biggest experiences in their life. Oh my gosh, I was in labor for 6 hours, and then I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want a medical interference, so I just continued to just go through the contractions. And my husband was watching it on a little scale thing, and it was just so, he was just so into it. Oh, my husband was pretty useless. He was sleeping the whole time. He was playing video games. He kept making dumb jokes. And then these moms are telling these stories. Oh yeah. And then I finally got that epidural. And then I finally got some rest. I wake up. They finally tell me, oh, we need to do this, or we need to do that. Okay, then this happens, and then I push, and then I have this tear, I have this degree, this. Oh, you know what? And then they had to cut me open. Then they took out my stomach. They took out my spleen. They took out my spinal cord for a second. They wanted to fix a membrane in the middle of it while they were delivering the child out. Oh, then the child was like busy playing poker. He was actually in the middle of a poker game, a very tense hand. He had pocket aces against top pair, and he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do with top pair versus aces. This is the same thing. So what do? Does this guy have a stronger hand? I don't know. Oh, the baby's poker hand finally finished. He actually won the hand. Then they pull the baby out. And then they're like, oh shit, where did all these pieces come from? How should we put this back together, guys? Then all of a sudden, the nurses, they just pull out a cigarette. It was crazy. Then they lit one. Oh, they were just taking a couple puffs. Oh yeah, they were just passing it around. Yeah, they're just passing it around. I was like, whoa, was that weed? They said, no, weed is for, like pre-delivery. I said, what? These nurses are high half the time. Oh yeah. Then they finally put out the cigarette. They put out the cigarette. That was quite considerate. They didn't throw it on the ground or leave it in my body or anything. Then they closed me up. They put all the organs where they thought they were supposed to go. Then they kind of just like tapped me twice on the back, and then next thing you know, my baby was in my car seat. Yeah. And then but that's about it. But other than that, I kind of already forgot about it. And that is why I can understand how you go crazy. I can fully understand how you go crazy, bro. And look, they be calling us pussies, bro. They be calling us pussies, bro. They be literally like, oh, you about to faint, huh? Oh, because you a little bitch, you gonna faint. Oh, they literally assign doctors to you to be holding you while your wife is delivering. Like, bro, I get it. I get it. It's kind of bitch like, but at the same time, I ain't a pussy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be giving you the most amount of shit, and it's like, bro, this just is not a normal thing to see. I think women would faint too if it wasn't just like going through your own body. It's the wildest shit. It's the craziest shit. But the most important thing for all my friends that are having kids, for my wife tomorrow having a kid, just make it through it. Make it fucking through it. Everyone's going to give you advice. You're going to read a million things online. Doctors going to tell you one thing. Your mom's going to tell you another thing. Your mother-in-law is going to tell you another thing. And look, just listen to me. This is the only piece of advice I have for you, is just get through it. Just get through it. And with that being said, I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. And then a couple of weeks after that, thank you guys all for listening. I'll see you next time. And